Hello, hello, Facebook land. How are you guys doing? So, Layla here, daring you to rise up in life and business as always. I wanted to jump on at the first opportunity that I could to actually answer this question that I got from one of my students, one of my clients, and just a connection, a friend, and he asked this question like, how the hell is she so positive? And he kind of mentioned this annoyance, and I thought, you know what, I need to answer this question because it just made me laugh out so loud when I read it last night. So I thought, right, let's chat about this, let's talk. So, if you're catching this live, then say hi, drop a comment, let me know where you are and how you are doing. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay would be awesome. And throughout, feel free to ask any questions and leave any comments. I would love it if you could leave some comments, initially to start off with anyway as well, because I'm not quite sure if the comments are working on the laptop. So I am going to go live on my phone. We'll check the live here. Some comments. Did you hear? There's always a delay. There's always a bit of a delay. All right. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this because it is a question that I've had loads and loads of times throughout my life. And I think it's just really important as well, maybe to share this content to help, anybody out there who might be going through stuff at the moment and isn't quite sure how to deal with things or how to deal with them better. Um, as I was kind of like, putting down a few notes and stuff, I was thinking to myself, like, I tend not to share too much about my stuff, which I prefer, of course. Um, but yeah, so this is going to be, some kind of personal shares on the video as well. So yeah, just drop a comment, let me know if you are here, thumbs up, love hearts, all of that good stuff, and feel free to share as well. You never know who this could inspire behind the screens, as I always talk about. So this could be quite a long video. Get yourselves a cup of tea or something, some biscuits, and yeah, I really hope that you find this useful. So, like I said, I got this question in my inbox yesterday about, this kind of annoyance that somebody was feeling, and, this question of how the hell is she so positive? Now, it wasn't like it was all good, it was all banter, it was all chat, and it was really cool. I was like, awesome, this is a great question, because at the end of the day, there is definitely huge value in kind of who I've become and what I've got to share to help others along their way as well. So I'm going to go into this. Like I said, it's a little bit weird where I'm kind of going to be sharing more about my stuff. And I've got my tissues at the ready. Ironically or not, or we'll see. Just in case. All right, so firstly, I am definitely positive, more positive by nature. So it is natural in many, many, many ways. And that optimism of always looking on the bright side, looking on what I like to say the flip side of the coin, is definitely something which is natural to some extent, but it's also something which I've learned and built up the resilience to, which I'll come to in a moment. But there's this sense of just the character that I am, the archetypes that I have going through me, like energetically, my star sign, I'm a Sagittarius, and we're very expansive, we're very bold thinkers, we're very like, kind of like there are no limits, and we do see the beauty in life. And I suppose it's a perspective thing as well. It's a choice. We get to choose, am I going to look at this situation in a negative way? Am I going to look at it in a way which is limiting and limits my mindset and limits my perception? Or am I going to look for the silver lining, the blessings, the gifts, the things that I haven't seen? And I ask this question often, which is, what would love do, or what would love see? And really kind of sit with that to just kind of, yeah, really to come back to that natural optimism and natural positivity. So looking at the flip side is really important as well. So I'll share more about the stuff that happened, some of the harder things that I've experienced in my life. And those things definitely kind of forced me to look at the positives, because I would not be here. It's a fact. Like I shouldn't be alive in many, many ways. In fact, that's a definite fact. But the fact that I am is testament to, the perception and perspective that I've always had. It's just to look at, what is God showing me here? What is love showing me here? What can I retrieve and gain from this particular situation? So I've always looked on the flip side, and the flip side being positive and empowering, and so on. And coming from the perspective of your heart and soul is really powerful, because when we do that, what we're doing is we're actually tapping into this eternal part of us, which is free and naturally happy. You know that feeling that you get when you're just like, you're just happy for no reason. You're just smiling, you're just enjoying life, you're maybe laughing, and just like in this feeling of joy and bliss and like freedom, um, peace. That's all like soul stuff, right? That is stuff that's really, really deep. And so when I choose to look at a situation, I'm choosing to look at it from my soul. But it's also, when you've done so much inner work, your soul will naturally kind of like come online, we could say. It would come online. So you have access to this natural essence that runs through you, without having to try. It just happens, and so that positivity radiates because it's just there. And so I tap into that, and I live in that space. I activate it, I awaken it, but it's also just there because I've done so much inner work. And that feeling energized is when I'm not in the mind. I live as much as I possibly can within heart, mind, body, soul, spirit, all of the good stuff, all combined and integrated. And of course, we can get into the mind, and the mind's where stress and anxiety can be, and kind of pushing and forcing. And there are definitely times when I'm there as well. But for the most part of it, it's natural. It's just an optimism. It is just this energized and energetic, uh, just this energized feeling. Life is here. Life is now. It's today. Why would we want to waste that? Like I could never do that. Um, and it's also because I dealt with my shit, and I deal with my shit all the time. So none of us, I think we all know this, but none of us are perfect. We're perfectly made, but we're not perfect as humans. Like, we have flaws and imperfections, and limiting beliefs and behaviors and attitudes which we've carried through, from our relationships, from parents, family, culture, religion, society, all of that conditioning, all that programming, which is not our stuff. And so I've spent most of my life, not all of my life, dealing with that stuff that isn't mine. So um, basically, my childhood was marred by domestic violence, and it was incredibly, incredibly awful, very, very traumatic, and to the point where it was emotional, physical, mental, sexual abuse. By the time I was 12, I didn't want to be alive. I attempted suicide, and I wanted the pain to stop. And in that moment, of that experience, I actually had a spiritual awakening. And it's literally as if, like, I'll never forget it. It's really hard to describe, but it's literally just as if the light just turned on. The light just turned on. And, I started walking with God, and I made some very, very important promises to myself as a little girl, even though I was only 12 years old, that, I would be happy, that I'm here on a quest for happiness, um, and that I would help, I would heal, and I would help my family to heal, and that I would help people to stop feeling angry, and to stop feeling poor, and so on, which is amazing after all these years. kind of still on that mission. And so what happened from the age of 12 is 12, 13 years old, I started working with a counsellor and at school. And then from then, I've always had professional support. So I've always believed, and this has been learned as well, that it's not my best friend's or my partner's responsibility to take on my stuff. It's my stuff for me to deal with. And I think it's really unfair in many ways when we expect our friends to take on all of our stuff if we're not willing to do something with it, if we're not willing to actually go deep and to actually heal whatever is happening, and to alchemize it and to transform it and to shift it. Our friends and family can't do that because they don't have the professional skills. They have like the love and the kindness, and they have an attachment oftentimes as well, an emotional attachment, which just is what it is. But when you're working with professionals, then you know that they are there to help you, and that's their job, that's their work. And so that's where transformation comes in. So just a couple of other things as well, like I mentioned, with the abuse, attempt to take my own life, forced engagement when I was 15, 16 years old, and trying to get out of that for 5 years, been married as well, and ex-husband from the Caribbean, and then dealing with infidelity, and just us drifting and going in different directions, then me divorcing him and starting my own life, and being disowned by the family as well. So there's been a lot of stuff that I've dealt with. And so the thing with me is that I've never denied the hard parts of life. So, and of course, like, considering everything that I went through pretty much from when I was born, from a very, very small age, from a young age, I just never had the blinkers on. And when I did, if I did, then I had to learn to take the rose tinted glasses off, because life was it was more tough and hard and dark and traumatic than it was positive. And so the thing about me, as much as like I'm super positive, it is because there's no denial on my part, or ignoring or pushing away the dark side of life, because it exists and it is what it is. And we have the power to navigate all of that. And there's a lot of freedom in that for me, because it's just like there's just no pushing it away, there's no denying it. Mentally and from a mindset point of view, when you can just accept that life isn't all like, hunky-dory. That's the expression now I was trying to think of. I haven't said that, but yes. You get to just be in the moment and enjoy it when it's amazing, and kind of pull up your courage muscles and deal with the stuff that's going on when you're going through tough times. So I deal with my stuff. I deal with my shit. I've always done that, and I've done it in professional ways, and I've done it personally as well. And so all of those experiences, what they did for me is that they helped me to build up my emotional intelligence and my emotional resilience. So like I said, I was 12 years old when I started counselling, and it's always been a part of my life. Counselling, working with mentors, working with teachers, working with coaches, and so on, and working with the professionals has been incredible. And then living life and really connecting to my heart and soul and being guided. So I'm not great at being in the mind. I'm all about heart and soul combined and integrated with, mind, body, spirit, and soul, and all of that. And so building up the resilience was really just a natural part, because I had to survive. I had to figure out ways to keep myself safe, essentially. And this was up until the age of about 30, 33, I'd say, maybe 32, 33. So it's not even that long, it's like, I don't know, 8 years, maybe 7 or 8 years. Up until then, there's always been this like, I've got to keep myself safe, I've got to actually keep myself alive, because there is just one thing after another. But the thing is that when we do the work to choose ourselves and to keep the faith and to keep hoping and taking action, not just hoping and hoping and hoping, you have to take action. You get to the point where you build up so much resilience that you do, it's like I was going to say, you feel like a boss. You are a boss. You're a boss of your own heart and soul. You're a boss of your own mind. And when life has dealt you with so many different cards, you have to know how to navigate it. And so this is the thing for me. Like, I just know absolutely that I'm a conqueror and that I am a victor. I know that I am, a woman who knows her power for sure. Even though there are times when I'm just like, no, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. Definitely, for sure. There's that fear of success and all of that stuff. But if I was to deny how far I've come, then I'm denying the journey that I've been on, and I wouldn't ever do that to myself. And if I find that I am, then it's like backtrack, backtrack. What's the pattern? What's the pattern? There's also this thing as well where I made promises, to my little girl. I mentioned this earlier, but those promises that I made to myself to live an amazing life and to create an amazing life, knowing that I was expected to kind of walk through life on my own for a very, very long time. So, just the street smart part of me was just like, okay, let's just do what we've got to do to be happy, to be successful, to be empowered, to feel loved within myself and with my relationships and so on. So it's all of that just built up this emotional resilience and this emotional intelligence, where I've just led myself through so much of life, which most of my friends and family wouldn't even know about, and I wouldn't even be able to begin to scratch the surface in this video. But essentially what happens when we are choosing a positive perspective, or when we're going through hard times, we're doing it with the word that's coming through is with the grace that you will grow this emotional resilience and strength. And there is so much power in that. There is so much power in that. If this is landing for you guys, just leave a comment below. And if you have any questions, like I said, I'm more than happy to answer them. So leave any questions or any comments as well. That would be awesome. So, emotional intelligence, emotional resilience, personal leadership, these are the things that allow you to feel more positive because you're not denying parts of yourself, right? You're really owning your deepest aspects, and it just feels so great. It feels so great to know that you're capable, to know that you're resourceful, to know that you can, to know that you are able to. Same thing, each different words. And to know that you're willing to as well, that you're willing to go there, that you're willing to back yourself, you're willing to be there for yourself, and that you're willing to discover how much more there is to you, for sure. There's a lot of power in that. So, kind of touching on that previous point about, working with professionals, there is something incredible about letting go, by letting go and opening up to receive. And so one of the things that I do intentionally is to create the inner space, because we're energetic beings, right? So we're a soul having a human experience, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And so the human stuff can get in the way of your soul and your spiritual aspects from coming on board, or coming online. Your spirituality and your spiritual connection is just you being connected to your heart and soul. It's like, it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's you being connected to your soul, to the deepest parts of you, to your inner potential. And so what you're doing is, what I've done is I've created this inner space, because anger, resentment, pain, frustration, grief, shame, guilt, judgments, self-hatred, denial, ignorance, if they stay, repression, suppression of your feelings, if we keep them in our bodies, it creates disease, it creates pain, it creates just this, it just creates an imbalance. And that is what had happened to me up until the age of 12. And so the work has been about kind of excavating. Might sound like a bit of a dramatic word, but it has been that. It has been about really looking at what does shame look like, how does shame show up in my life, and guilt and denial and pushing away and all these different things, all these different aspects of self mastery. So what I do is I create space. I create space by letting go and letting things be and opening up. And one of the ways, like last night, I actually sat here. I think it might have been just before I got that message. But I sat here and I had a really, really good cry. I cried, and just released, and I released a kind of a realization of ways that I've broken my own heart. And I will post about this at some point when I feel guided to and ready to. But it's like there's no it's not all happy-go-lucky. I'm very emotional. I have this incredible emotional wave that just goes through me, and it's part of my energetics, and I absolutely love it. I wouldn't ever push it away or deny it. And so, crying is a great release because you're just saying, you know what, I'm just letting this all go. I'm just getting this out of my system. I am releasing the pressure. I'm feeling what it feels like to feel human, rather than what a lot of people tend to do, which is just to push their feelings away and just be like, oh, no, 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 I'm just going to push that away. Now, with what I experienced last night, with really kind of crying, just getting it all out, there were lots of trigger points and there were lots of different things that had built up to that moment as well. So there is that for sure, right? There's always work, there's always inner work, but I don't deny it. And again, that creates a space, that opening up creates the space for more positive energy to come through and to be released as well. And that's where that energized feeling, or vibe comes from. And I'm also fire sign as well, so there's just always this this kind of high vibe energy, which is restorative and destructive, but destroying and letting go of all the stuff that no longer serves, whilst creating space for what does and what wants to come through. So I also journal every day. I've got loads of journals. If you see the table, just imagine it. There's loads and loads of journals here. So I journal every day. And it's one of my favorite things to do, and it's a great way to reconnect. It's a great way to know and understand who you are, and to kind of when you just write as a stream of consciousness and you just let it all out without any judgment, without any criticism, with just love, just letting it be, you'll be amazed at what you can come up, what comes through you actually. So journaling every day is something that I've always done, and it's just something which releases, and it feels so good. And there's lots of different ways to journal. What I suggest to my clients and my students is find a way that's aligned for you. So it might be that you write a topic at the top of the page and then you just write everything that comes through. You might want to write a question at the top and then answer that question and see what comes through. You might just want to stream of consciousness, just just write, or old school with a pen, which is definitely what I'm like. So you just want to get it out of your system. That's what you want to do. Journaling allows that all to come through, and it's a great way to connect to your vision as well, and to connect to what actually matters. So I'll talk about the vision later on. This, like I said, this video is going to be definitely one of the longer ones. It's a great question, and I can just refer people back to this one. So all right, so the other thing that I do is I release and give my burdens to God as much as I can, as often as I remember. I offer it to God. I carry what I can, and then I release what I can't. And really, we're not supposed to carry our burdens, because to cultivate deeper trust and faith in the universe, in God, in life, in love, you're not supposed to carry that stuff. Doubts, negativity, fears, worries, all of that stuff. And so it is a question of releasing that. And so I'll show you, because I've got it here, but I've got a bit of a jar in here, which is where I put my kind of burdens, anything that's kind of ready to be released, then it's a great exercise. It's a great way just to say, okay, this is for you, God. This is for a higher power. This is for the universe. This is for the earth. This is for um, a part of me that is far bigger than I would ever be, and it's not my stuff to carry. So that is definitely something which has actually really, really helped. Because then what happens is when you know that you've given away or released your burdens, you've actually created space for more fun, more play, laughter, joy, happiness. You create space for synchronicities to come through as well. So this has been one of my things where one of the reasons why I've often been so positive is because it's like I'm not carrying pain. I'm working through it. I'm emotionally detached from it as best as I possibly can be, but I've handed it over to God. I've given it and I've gifted it outside of myself. So then all I've got to do is just show up in that moment, be present, having fun, laughing, doing, enjoying life. That's what it's all about. So the other thing as well, with like how I'm so positive, and I've spoken about this just there, but it's about feeling your emotions and feeling your feelings. So, as I said, I've got this incredible emotional wave, which is a natural part of my energetics, and so I really do feel the whole spectrum of emotions and feelings, and that's what makes me great at what I do as a self mastery mentor, as a coach, is that I have that lived experience of what it looks like to feel and experience and to know shame, guilt, denial, repression, ignorance, fears, inner pains, whatever that looks like. There's just such a spectrum. And here's the thing as well, where I mentioned about when I was younger, when I was 12, a big part of that experience or that decision was, of course, I wanted the pain to end, but it was because I had been told, don't talk, don't say anything to anybody, don't tell don't say anything to anyone, don't tell anybody, hide it, it didn't happen. There was gaslighting, manipulation, pushing it away, and this kind of encouragement of shaming myself. And what that whole experience taught me was that actually I had repressed and suppressed my feelings, and rather than expressing them, I took them all on and took them in, and that's what affected my mindset. Depression, anxiety, fear, insecurity, just so much stuff, and so it was just a huge lesson for me to understand that, of course, I'm expressive now, but me being able to express my emotions and thoughts and feelings in a safe place, in a safe environment, in safe relationships, as in containers which feel like it's safe for you to say what you want to say. We're not going to judge you. So, you're safe to just process and go through what you want to go through. And the love is always going to be here. And that was a really, really powerful lesson, because at the end of the day, self expression is how you be you. And there's so much stuff out there where you're encouraged not to be yourself because of judgments, because of whatever it might be, because of guilt or whatever it might be. And so for me, it's like, well, how am I feeling? One of my favorite questions to ask every day, all day, is what do I feel like? What do I feel like? Dot dot dot. What do I feel like doing? What do I feel like having? Like, what do I feel like? And that's a great like guiding question. So I'll definitely offer that to you guys as well, to use it, try it out. If you want to either tap into your feelings and emotions more, or if you want to just kind of acknowledge maybe that you're in a different place. And so it's a great question. So there's definitely, in order to feel positive, you have to at some point sit with your feelings and your emotions, and they're not as scary. They actually pass very quickly like this. So even though I've mentioned that kind of natural emotional wave that I have like this, like in a day, I can go through so many different emotions. Um, they pass very quickly as long as I don't push them away, as long as I don't deny them, as long as I don't just like say, no, that's not a part of me. I'm just going to be happy-go-lucky and positive. And it's like, no, we're bypassing when we do that, and that's perfect to talk about now because spiritual bypassing is a thing that a lot of people do, and essentially it's bypassing, where you're denying, pushing away, ignoring um, feelings and emotions, your true thoughts, your true opinions, for so many different reasons. And but still acting positive and be like, yeah, that's absolutely fine, when actually it's not. And so there's this kind of line and this barrier that somebody will kind of, that you will let ourselves go up to. And we have to be really careful, right? So if there's something that you don't want to do and it's here, and you choose to go over that boundary, you've kind of bypassed what was really going on for you. And that, in the long run, if we continually do that, creates energetic issues and challenges. And so this is like all the stuff that I've mentioned so far are great ways to keep coming back to your truth, to keep coming back to your own inner positivity, because it exists. Um, Especially for my audience, especially for my tribe, like, we're super, super positive. And when we're not careful, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to push that away and, just deal with whatever in its own time, if ever. And it's like, no, 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 you need to keep coming back. You need to keep coming back to the present moment. So spiritual bypassing is definitely not something that I encourage. It's about being real, and feeling your emotions and feeling your thoughts, and just being where you're at, because it goes like that. The emotions and feelings go like that. So another reason why I am so positive is because I take responsibility for my life and for my vision and my mission. And there have definitely been times when it's been like, I'm kind of pushing away that responsibility. It can be a big thing. It can definitely feel like it's a big thing. But essentially, this is about saying, okay, this is the life that I've been gifted. And I do believe that our lives are gifted, and that, we're not here to take them for granted. There are people who haven't made it to this point today. And and it's hard, as hard as that is to see. The fact is that if we're here, if I'm here, I'm alive, then it's my responsibility to own that and to enjoy life for the gifts and the blessings and the wisdom that can come through, and the journey that I'm on. And so this is always about saying, right, I'm grateful and I'm blessed, and actually seeing it and integrating it and allowing it to be part of who you are. Because the truth of it is that if we're not meant to be here, we're not meant to be here. Our life could be over just like that at any point. And um, and so you want to enjoy it. You want to, before you even get to the point of enjoying it, you want to just be grateful, and and see the blessings in it. And so for myself, it is about taking responsibility for my life and for my purpose and my soul's journey and my mission, and and accepting it for what it is, for the mistakes and the challenges and the flaws and imperfections and all of that. It just is part of it. Um, why would I ever want to deny that? Why would I ever want to push it away? Because the thing is, like, if we act as if everything is all good, the reality is we're then lying to ourselves. We're then lying to ourselves, and it's like, no, no, no. Let's just deal with the stuff that's going on. So the other thing that I do is I mind my own business, meaning I don't do drama, I don't do gossip, I don't do lying, I don't do the stuff that is other people's stuff, where I could get caught up in their things, and when it's not my stuff. Meaning, emotionally, I'm not attached to the things that people are going through, but I'm absolutely there as an observer, as a support, as a guide, or whatever that kind of inner role feels like. But I'm not attached to other people's stuff. And I would probably say that this is one of the biggest things. It's like, it is about minding my own business and just being like, okay, each and every single person is on their own soul journey. One of the greatest lessons that I learned was that we are all on our own soul journey, and we're not on our soul journey on our own. We're with each other. We're together on this soul journey. However, we don't have to be emotionally attached, as in like attached the pain or to the drama or to gossiping or to anything that's kind of a lower vibe, we get to just say, well, this is my life, you've got your life. How do we co-create together? How do we be independent or interdependent? How do we walk through life together without taking on each other's stuff, taking on each other's emotional stuff, and then creating cords within us that can be difficult to release and let go of. So I kind of mind my own business. I just get on with what I'm here to do, and I have amazing relationships. And they're the kind of relationships that are just soul aligned. It's like, yes, this person, it's like this person is meant to be in my life. That person's not meant to be in my life. That kind of thing. Like when you've got clarity on that, when you know who you are, or you've made that choice and decision to be very selective about who you have in your life, you end up just kind of manifesting or calling those people into your world. And anybody that doesn't fit or doesn't resonate, it's just like, cool, you're free to be where you're meant to be. I'm free to be where I'm meant to be. There's a soul tribe for every single one of us. And so I think it's really important, like minding our own business. I didn't make a note of this, but minding my own business is also about not watching the news and not watching the drama and the stuff that goes on there, the theatre of it all. And like I said at the beginning, with the things that I experienced when I was younger, there is no denial of the pain and the hurt and the stuff that is going on in the world. It's very easy. I think once you've read up on all of this and you've seen the patterns and you understand the dynamics behind the news and kind of how humanity and life works, it just gets a little bit easier to know what's happening but to not be attached. And from that place, there's so much freedom to actually be able to help. Because, like I said, it's not about going into the drama. Because if we get into the drama, if we get into the kind of negative emotions about it all and attachments, then we can't help as much as we want to. And so there's a really powerful decision that gets to be made where you're like, okay, I know the stuff that's happening in the world. How can I help from an empowered place rather than kind of lowering my vibration to try and help there? It doesn't help anyone, and this is something that I've experienced so much up and down with. But it feels amazing to gift myself that inner freedom. So I definitely say that's a big part of it. Also focusing on what I'm here to do, and and not wasting my life and not wasting my time. Again, at 12 years old, it was an amazing, scary and amazing experience, but I realized, like, we've got this one life here. Like, we're here to make the most of it. We're here to tap into our inner potential. We are absolutely here to live our truest soul journey. We're here to do so many amazing things. I love how one of my contacts, Jamal, said, one destiny, many purposes. And it is that, our life gets to be incredible when we choose to make the most of it, when we choose to not take it for granted. And so, my heart's motto has always been, life is today, like it's right here, it's right now, in this moment. You get to create the life that you desire. You get to co-create the life that you desire. And the past is done. The past is there, but the past isn't coming back, and the future is what you're pulling towards you into the present moment. And so there's such a great power in that, knowing that life is here to be lived. It's today, and you can't live tomorrow in tomorrow. You have to live it today. You've got to know where you're going and what you're looking or what you're moving towards. So on that point, my vision really inspires me. My vision really inspires me. My personal vision to be who God created me to be, to really be in my personal power, to really lead myself in a powerful way, to be happy and to keep my promises to myself, to be a woman of integrity and responsibility and doing what I came here to do and keeping my soul promises. But also keeping my soul promise to my inner child. That's a big part of what I do. I usually have a picture of myself when I was little, which I carry with me, or I have it in my office, just as a reminder, because our inner child always deserves love and acknowledgement, but needs that on a daily basis as well. So yeah, I'm all about kind of making the most of life and living life as, the greatest adventure, and not kind of shying away from challenge, not shying away from tough things, because there are many, many things that we get to co-create, but there are also things that are out of our control, and that's where soul purpose comes in. That's where Dharma comes in. Um, I'm not 100% sure on all the kind of definitions of all of that, of Dharma, but essentially, there are things that we are here to experience, or lessons we are here to gain, and an incredible life in the quantum that we're here to live. And so I experience all of that, I want to experience that, and I also want to share it with others. So essentially, underneath that is that I want to be an excellent human being, and my vision to be an excellent human being is what drives me. And you're not going to be an excellent human being by wearing a hat that's always negative or unhelpful or in denial or anything like that. So my collective vision is to leave the world in a better place, leave the world better than I found it, right? Or better than I came into it, and to impact and inspire soul-led men and women around the world. Hey Taz, for the present is the point at which time touches eternity. I love that. I love that. I love that. It's so, 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 so true. Literally, it's so true. It's in this moment. There's some magic there. Ah, I love it. Keep the comments. Keep the comments coming. So yeah, so my collective vision is absolutely to live in a world where women are empowered and women know her true power, and she's living it, and it's integrated and it's embodied, and she knows that she's worthy, and she knows that she's experienced her own love from her heart and soul pouring out of her into her world, into her life, that she knows how to manifest with confidence and with ease, and to make all the money that she desires unapologetically. We've been shamed so much when it comes to money, and money is just a neutral energy, and we actually get to manifest and co-create abundance because because we can. When money is in women's hands, we actually are so much more, we use it in different ways, because so many of our intentions haven't been kind of colored in so many ways. But money is the tool that allows us to help create a better world for ourselves, for our families, for our children, for men, for those who really want to connect to it. So this is the thing for me, like, money has been a game changer, and it's been the biggest journey, and it's been a journey of complete acceptance that money is a relationship, and just like with any other relationship, there are ups, downs, twists, turns, left and right. And what is the universe kind of showing me, and what is the wisdom within this, and how do we keep making it easier? How do we keep making it easier to manifest and receive? And so there's a lot there, but there's also a big part of my vision is to see men happy as well, and to really support men in coming back to their own hearts and their emotions and their feelings without feeling any shame, and being okay with that, and it's not going to be every man's journey, and that it is what it is. But for those in my world, and for those in my audience and my tribe and my customers and students and clients and so on, this is the thing that matters to him. It's like, well, how do I connect to that deeper part of myself? How do I navigate these feelings and these emotions? And to be honest with you, it's like all of this is dream work. All of this is stuff that was a dream that I'm doing for real. And so being so positive is about saying, I'm living the life that I've desired. I'm living the life that at 12 years old I was not meant to be here, and there's actually been quite a few occasions throughout my life when it was like, oh shit, I nearly died. Oh shit, that was near death. Oh, damn it. and I'm still here. And so you get grateful. And so where it actually looks like it's positivity, it's, for me, it's gratitude that's emanating through. Um, because that is what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for being alive. I know what a blessing it is to be alive, because I've been this close to not being here. And so that natural positivity just comes through because I'm living my vision. I'm making my dreams come true. I'm helping people. I am doing the things that light me up. And this would then be one of the key points, is like, we do what we love. In order to be so positive, this is about saying, well, I'm going to do what I love to do. And for myself and for so many different people, um, doing what we love is not about the money. It's about what lights me up, what excites me, what am I here to do, and that I can absolutely easily receive from as well, right? And so it's about coming back to that, what lights me up, what excites me, and just getting lost in that creativity and just being like, yes, this feels so good, like this unleashing and releasing, and the soul growth. The soul growth is the next thing. So your soul growth is what we're here for, right? You becoming more and more, or tapping into more of your potential, tapping into who you really truly are, and allowing that powerhouse in you to just come through, allowing yourself to change, allowing yourself to transform, and going on this journey called life, knowing that it is a journey of personal transformation. It's a journey of forever soul growth, as I say. And it gets exciting. It gets exciting. So it's definitely something which all my clients and my students are all about. It's like, yeah, I want to know myself more. It's that expression of know thyself. Well, it's a few words, 2 words. Know thyself. When you know who you are, you want to tap into more. You want to tap into more, and you release more of that into the world, and that's what changes the world. By your example of you being who you are, is powerful. So one more thing with that is about, it's related to soul growth as well, and kind of what I talked about earlier, but it's challenging yourself. Challenging yourself and saying, well, in order to grow, it's that whole thing about the diamonds, and the diamond is pressure. What is it? Is it a coal? Is it coal that needs pressure for it to become a diamond? I don't know. You guys tell me. Whatever. There's an expression. A diamond isn't just a diamond. It goes through pressure in order to become a diamond. And it's the same for us, right? Challenges allow us to grow. Challenges allow us to see what we're made of, And so is one of the messages that I got back from Anzo was about, he just knows that, like, I love the pressure. I love the adrenaline and the thrill and the growth and the challenge. It's like, can I do this? Can I not? How do I do this? Let me find and discover the answers within. And you can't find the answers within by reading about it in a book. You have to, you have to go through the process in order to discover what you're really made of. And so all of the stuff that I've been through my whole life it's strengthened me. It's just built this resilience in me, and shown me what I'm really made of, and whatever I'm made of is what you've got in you as well. And whatever you've got in you, I've got that as well, and so it's just this part of us, or this part of life, which is, life is not, like I said, it's not a straight road. It's up, down, twist, turn, left, right. As long as you're always connected to your heart and soul, you've got that resilience, right? You'll never ever have to worry about whether you can overcome something or not. And when you do, you keep reminding yourself. You keep reminding yourself, which is what I do. There are times when I'm just like, it's like, no, you have to just come back and remember how far you've come and celebrate it, because life is worth celebrating for sure. So a diamond is a chunk of coal that did well under pressure. Thank you, guys. I love that you know these, or that you find them for me. I love it. I love it, seriously. And it's so true. So a diamond is a chunk of coal that did well under pressure. We're all diamonds. We're all diamonds. Apparently diamonds aren't rare. Diamonds, just might be shattering some dreams here, but diamonds aren't actually rare. It was just amazing marketing. I think it was by De Beers, who were like, yeah, you know, diamonds are rare. This is a thing for your wedding or engagement ring or whatever. It's like not actually rare. But it's all good. I'm more into crystals than diamonds and rare crystals and daras and stuff like that. So all right, so I'm not surprised this video is about 50 minutes. I wanted to kind of just keep that space and just share this because I've been asked so many times, and I just thought, you know what, let's just put it into a video that I can just reference back for people. And there's going to be more, but these were like some of the big parts. Oh, see what I mean? There is going to be more, but I've just remembered as well moving my body, like actually moving and exercising and dancing. Who cares whether you dance well or not? I don't dance well at all. But it's about movement and moving this energy, really releasing this energy and getting it out of my system has been so key to allowing myself to feel free. I'm really tapping into those deeper parts of myself by just freeing up my energy, freeing up my time, freeing up my space, by dancing, by moving, by running. Which reminds me, I'm going to go for a run now, and you know, exercising, and you know, for me, I absolutely love kickboxing. It's just there's so many different little parts of this, but essentially, if I can do it, you can do it for sure, for sure, for sure. Being positive, as long as you understand and you accept that life is difficult and that you have it within you to overcome or come through, essentially come through whatever you're going through, you'll always rise up stronger. And it's like I often say, you know, my breakdowns didn't break me, they led to my breakthroughs. And that's 100%, it is what it is. You know, the thing, life is always happening for you, it's not happening to you. And just kind of sitting with that is like, whoa, huh? How is life happening for me? You know, this is happening to me. That person's done this. That thing has just happened. Da, 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 da. I can't catch a break. And it's like, how can you grow from this? What are the lessons? What is the wisdom? What is the thing that you're going to learn from this that you're not going to do again? But also, can you just stay in that space of continual growth, continual betterment? You know, because we don't always, the lessons are always part of it, but you don't always have to look for the lessons. So yeah, life is always happening for us, not to us. The discovery of that through your journal would be a great thing. So if you guys have any questions, I'm just checking my phone to see if there's anything else there. Any questions, let me know. Feel free to post them below. Any comments or anything like that. It would be awesome to hear from you guys. And for those of you that have stayed on, thank you so much for for staying on, even if you did go in and out, so I'm going to be keeping this up on my pages, and we'll get it up onto my YouTube and IGTV as well. I love when this is a thing. Still got more to say. I love it when stuff just comes through. You know, it's just whatever my heart and soul wants me to share, and I want to express. There's healing. There's healing in this because I've not shared this content before. So, yeah, thank you so much for being here. Before I jump off, on Monday, the 17th, we start my next round of Transform Your Money Vibes, which is my classic money course. And this is where I teach you and show you the energetics and the frequency of money and how to actually manifest more, because money itself is neutral, but there are very powerful, wonderful ways to reconnect to money in a way that it serves you and that you get to manifest from a place of heart and soul. It's not just like affirmations just for the sake of it. We go deep. So it's a 5-week course, and you get lifetime access. All of it's live, and of course the lifetime access is for the replay, so you have access to those. We've got loads of bonuses as well. Alumni, you get to join for free. So if you have joined Transform Your Money Vibes since 2014 and you're seeing this, just send me a message. You have free access, which I'm so excited about. And yeah, we go deep into money energetics and connecting to the universe and universal laws and mindset, and really kind of anchoring the energy and the frequency of money. This is so exciting. It's £333 early bird, Full price is 888, but there are payment plans as well. So we've got generous payment plans. And all you've got to do is head on over to my website, which is leilakhanauthor.com/money vibes, and you can have a read of the course there, and from there sign up. Trust yourself, trust that soul nudge, do what you're guided to do, and hopefully I will see you on the inside. Thank you so much for your time, and if you have any questions, just DM me. Thank you so much for your time. Like I said, it's been awesome. Feel free to share this. You never know who it may inspire and help and support and guide along the way behind the computer screens or the phone screens. And remember, life is today, so follow your heart. It knows the way always. Always, always, always. Catch you soon. Bye.